This discussion is on taxable and non-taxable benefits. Benefits are usually classified as taxable and non-taxable. Aside from the basic salary, all forms of allowances, bonuses, and additional monetary benefits provided by the company are taxable. These include representation allowance, transportation allowance, cost of living allowance, and more. The train line, also known as RA 10963, which took effect on January 1st, 2018, exempted all types of benefits, including overtime pay received by minimum wage earners if the gross income shall not exceed 20,833.33 every month. Gross income in excess of 20,833 in a month shall be subject to income tax unless they are considered de minimis benefits. We have discussed a little about those overtime pay, bonuses, monetary benefits. Now we're going to be discussing more on the de minimis benefits. The following is a list of de minimis benefits which are not subject to income tax and compensation for rank and file employees or fringe benefits tax for supervisors and those in higher levels. If you are a rank and file employee, not a manager, not a supervisor, so you are subject to income tax and compensation. But if you belong to the management, your supervisor or higher level of position, then your benefits is subject to fringe benefits tax. But there are the minimis benefits that are not included in the computation of the taxable income for this. And the first one is monetized or unused vacation leave credits of private employees not exceeding 10 days during a year. We already know that there is what we call a service incentive leave. This is SIL. A regular employee who receives a monthly salary is given a service incentive leave every year. Service incentive leave refers to a number of days that the regular employee may be absent from work without incurring deductions. The SIL may also be applied to late and undertime cases computed on the hourly rate of the concerned employee. By law, the minimum SIL is 5 days. Other companies which have collective bargaining agreements with their union may grant longer SILs. In case, when an employee has availed of the SIL benefit for the year, then there would be, it has subsequent absences, then he will not be able to reimburse the monetary equivalent of the SIL. Say, for example, you're a regular employee and you are given 5 days of SIL, service incentive leave, and you have to be absent for a day. So that day, prior to that day, you have to file a leave of absence indicating that you're going to avail of your service incentive leave. So if it is approved, then you will not be working on that day, but and you will still get paid. Okay? You will still be paid on that day even if you don't come to work. So it means that you already use 1 day of your SIL and you still have 4 days remaining SILs. The 5 days SIL can be used in 1 year. So if, let's say, you use only 3, you were absent only for 3 days, then you can still reimburse the 2 days equivalent value of your SIL. But if you already used the 5 days SIL, then you won't get any reimbursement anymore. If you were absent for more than 5 days, then definitely the first 5 days of your absence can be you can be absent from work without incurring deductions, but after the days exceeding those 5 days, you will already have deductions on your salary. Number 2, you have monetized value of vacation and sick leave credits paid to government officials and employees. So this is similar to the one discussed in number 1. Medical cash allowance to dependents of employees not exceeding 750 per employee per semester or 125 per month. You have to take note of this ceiling amount as well. But basically, you don't have to memorize everything. Appreciation of the topic would be enough. You would be discussing this more in higher accounting lessons. And then you have rice subsidy of 1,500 or 1 sack of 50 kilogram per month, amounting to or not more than 1,500. So some employees receive rice subsidy from their employers. Number 5, uniform and clothing allowance not exceeding 5,000 per annum. So if you're given clothing allowance, let's say 4,000, then that is part of your de minimis benefits, which is non-taxable. If you get 6,000 clothing allowance, then 5,000 of that is not subject to tax. And the remaining amount we'll be discussing a little later. Actual medical assistance, like medical allowance to cover medical and healthcare needs, annual or medical checkup, maternity assistance. Maternity is when a female employee gets pregnant and has to give birth. Routine consultations not exceeding 10,000 per annum. So this medical assistance, the ceiling amount is 10,000 per year. Per annum means per year. Laundry allowance not exceeding 300 per month. There are also companies who gives laundry allowance, but if they give more than 300, the non-taxable is only up to 300 pesos. Employees Achievement Awards, example, for length of service or safety achievement, which must be in the form of tangible personal property other than cash or gift certificate, with an annual monetary value not exceeding 10,000 received by the employee under an established written plan which does not discriminate in favor of highly paid employees. Some companies give employees achievement awards, maybe for loyalty, for after working for 10 years, for 5 years, 15 years. In I know a school that gives like a laptop to a teacher who for loyalty, or probably cash after working for 5 years. So that's considered as Employees Achievement Awards. Gifts given during Christmas and major anniversary celebrations, not exceeding 5,000 per employee per annum. So again, this is per year. The gifts received during Christmas is non-taxable, but the maximum is 5,000. So if you get more than 5,000, the other would be taxable. Daily, not necessarily. I'll discuss that later. Daily meal allowance for overtime work and night graveyard shift not exceeding 25% of the basic minimum wage. So if you get meal allowance or for overtime work and graveyard shift, graveyard would be like if you're working at night, then that's also non-taxable. Benefits received by an employee by virtue of a collective bargaining agreement. Some companies have employee union, workers union, labor union. So that union, labor union, usually talks to the management and ask for like more benefits for their members. Then the benefits that you get from that negotiation will be non-taxable. And this last part is the important part. All amounts in excess of their respective ceiling will be added to the 13th month pay and other benefits in determination of the 90,000 non-taxable ceiling. So, say for example, your laundry allowance is 600, but the ceiling is only 300. The remaining 300 will be added to the 13th month pay and other benefits. If your uniform and clothing allowance, let's say, is 8,000, but the ceiling is 5,000, so the 3,000 will be added again to the 13th month pay and other benefits. Now, the value that you get from the 13th month pay and other benefits, meaning those that are not included in the de minimis benefits, you add them all up, and then if the total is 90,000 and below, it's still non-taxable. But if the total of this 13th month pay and other benefits, excluding your de minimis benefits, is more than 90,000, then the excess of 90,000 is taxable. So the non-taxable, except for the de minimis benefits, 13th month pay and other benefits, your ceiling is 90,000. Higher than 90,000 or in excess of 90,000 is already taxable.